What's up guys, welcome to Shareware, where we share the latest and greatest in technology, automotive, pop culture, and the world around us. Now, as some of you may have seen, I put up a video a couple of months ago about that happy little hamburger looking camera Lily. And I got a surprising amount of people sharing my excitement for its release. So this time around I'm just going to be talking about consumer grade motion capture camera equipment that you may or may not have heard of. So if you're into filmmaking or filming athletic or adventurous activities, or you're like me and your nerdy bits tingle anytime a new camera tech comes out and then you buy it and your girlfriend yells at you, well, let's have a look-see, shall we? First up is the TTRS-SB Seawolf, which is easily the coolest name on the list. The Seawolf is a robotic submarine made by those crazy Swedes over at TT Robotics. In this mini sub, you open up the front and then attach your GoPro into the front-facing housing. And at an unofficial price point of $9.99, it's definitely not cheap. But with a 5-blade brass prop and a rugged exterior build, it's definitely not built cheap either. Now, Seawolf will do about 3 miles per hour underwater and can dive up to 26 feet, which is pretty impressive. Now, there is a freshwater only model, meaning that the saltwater model will probably cost more. And they do show on the website multiple other models, including one that can use your phone as the remote and another that relies on a 30-meter cable for reception. And frankly, both of those options would be a no-go for me. First of all, I use the GoPro app on my phone to see the footage I'm doing and stopping and starting my GoPro. And how can I do that if I'm controlling the submarine that is driving my GoPro? And as for the 30-meter cable, I don't even like untangling the 15-foot hose to wash my car. But once again, if you have the money and underwater shots are your thing, you might as well get your shots from the sand while you're sipping a Mai Tai, and then just lie to your friends when they ask how you were brave enough to get that damn close to a jellyfish. Next up, we have the Solo Shot 2. Now, the Solo Shot 2 is for people like myself who love doing adventurous or athletic activities, but can't typically rely on a friend to get the best shot for you. They either don't hit the right angle or they have stability issues, which is frankly my biggest pet peeve when it comes to people shooting things for me. So then here comes the fix to that problem, which is this tripod mounted motion tracker, which will follow whoever has the tracking device anywhere from 10 to 2,000 feet away for up to 4 hours battery life. This thing can turn a full 360 degrees at up to 80 degrees a second, which means you can get those totally awesome racetrack shots, along with a 140-degree tilt, meaning that you could set this up in, say, a shot where you're trying to get a car doing a perfect drift around a circle. Set this thing up in the middle, it will keep up with that car doing that donut. Or personally, I have a buddy that races hydro boats, and this is the perfect option for him. 2,000 feet away, he can set this thing up on a dock and get that awesome shot of him passing by. The Solo Shot 2 can talk to your camera and not only keep you in the shot, but also decide what shooting mode it needs to be in. And if you have multiple tracking sensors out there, all you have to do is touch the tracker wherever it may be on your body, and the camera will automatically adjust to focus on you, which is pretty badass. Not to mention the Solo Shot 2 sells for a much more realistic price compared to the Seawolf at $399. Now that's without the tripod or the camera, but they do sell a Sony camera and tripod bundle for about $600. Next up on the list we have the Cinemoco, which stands for Cinematic Motion Control, and that was built by Cinetics. Now at $849 for the system, it is probably the least cost-efficient one on the list. But it does make sense because it was a Kickstarter product, so they probably didn't have an in when it came to getting cheaper parts. Now this thing is expensive, but it does give you that professional grade shot look. It gives you seamless transitions in those shots that would typically have stability hiccups. Some examples where this thing would be totally awesome would be for a cutscene shot in the wilderness or a time-lapse shoot, or maybe even for a stop motion film it would work really well. Now to elaborate a little bit on Cinemoco, it's a dolly attached to a 4-foot skate, which will allow the camera to do either straight line shots or curve shots at varying speeds depending on what you program the motor to do based off its open source software. And I'd say the coolest thing about their site is that you can buy each piece separately. So say you don't need the motor right away but you really want the slide feature, then go ahead and buy the skate, which to me is totally awesome. And I will also leave their website and all the other companies' websites down in the little bio box below. Last but not least, I bring you the Amy from Gigabot. Amy is a lot like the Solo Shot 2, but a lot more recreational consumer sized, because this thing was made specifically for smartphones and GoPros. You can hook it to a selfie stick or a tripod or a quadcopter, and it'll use its little motor, an AMD processor, and 2 gigs of RAM to follow you around. With only a 1-button design on a well-built body, this thing is extremely user-friendly. And because of the love that this thing got over at CES, they actually put together a Pro Series model which can handle DSLRs. Now price is $399 for the base level Amy, which is the same price as the Solo Shot 2, but they are for different audiences. This thing is perfect for the people that don't want to waste any time setting anything up. Say for example you're a vlogger or you're just beginning to vlog and you're having trouble holding the camera while at the same time interacting with your audience. This thing is perfect because it'll just do it for you. Or maybe hook this thing up to a Parrot quadcopter and have a more manually powered version of Lily. I foresee automated camera equipment becoming more and more common in the years to come, helping consumers get a more professional shot. And personally, as someone that loves to shoot things but sometimes can't do a 3-camera production on my own, leaving 2 robots on my side cameras and me on the main could be a way for amateur filmmakers to budget a whole new era of filmmaking. Anyways guys, that is it for this one. Let me know down in the comments if any of these maybe sparked your interest or if you heard of something that maybe I missed that I should have put in here. Love you all. Deuces, kitties.